Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Diaryofayounglawyer, and I'm the team leader of this initiative.
Yes.
We must appreciate you for sparing the time to do it all this evening. Thank you so much. We are grateful.
Quite a pleasure, Mr. Adekunle.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
So quickly, can we meet you?
Yes, my name is Ishaka. My first name is Ishaka. Mudi is my surname, and Dikko, which I'm more known for, is a family name. Yes, so I'm a legal practitioner, as you can see, based in Abuja, but my original base is Lafia, Nasarawa State. I started my practice in Lafia, so even though Abuja is the head office, but I still consider Lafia my base.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can you please tell us when you got called to the Nigerian bar?
I was called to the bar in the year 2006. I attended Mudi Dikko University, Zaria, and graduated the year 2005. I went to Nigerian Law School, Lagos, in the year 2006, and before the end of 2006, precisely November of that year, I was called to the Nigerian bar. So I served in Akure, Ondo State. After my service, I started my practice with the prestigious law firm of Liman & Co. I've been with Liman & Co. up to the year 2013, when I also registered my law firm, Mudi Dikko & Associate. But legal profession is quite a very interesting profession, even though we're usually restrained from saying it's a business entity, but still, it's a very liberal entity. As much as I was running my law firm, Mudi Dikko & Associate, I was a partner or associate with Liman & Co. So you can visibly see me always with Liman & Co. But I also have my independent practice from the year 2013. Yes.
Thank you so much, Ernest. So can you please share with us the year you get conferred on the prestigious rank of the senior advocate of Nigeria?
Yes, 2018 precisely. By the year 2016, I became a notary public of Nigeria. By 2017, I applied and became qualified to be conferred with the rank. But like it's in the public domain, it's to the knowledge of everybody. It's a privilege, not a right. So by 2017, even though I reached the final stage of interview, but I wasn't privileged to be conferred with the rank in the year 2017. So the next year, 2018, to the glory of God, I became a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Yes. Can you please share with us your motivation? What was the drive, for you to become a legal practitioner? What was the drive?
Yeah, I think my family base, my maternal uncles are lawyers. I think as at the time I was growing up, there are 3 of them that as at that time were lawyers. My grandfather too was a judicial officer. He was a Qadi of the Sharia Court of Appeal, my maternal grandfather. So I picked it from my uncles, the present Justice Liman of the Federal High Court, Dr. Liman, who is a legal practitioner, and also Yahya Liman, a lawyer who is now late, who were young. In fact, the coincidence is I was a science student.
Wow.
My father wanted me to be a medical doctor, which is conventional with parents. They usually have a particular thing they want their children to be. So my father wanted me to be a medical doctor, but up to when I was about finishing secondary school, the drive to become a lawyer made me, I will say, revolt. I had to revolt from being a science student. I was to finish my secondary school in 1996, but I had to switch to art school to repeat and then take art courses. That was the foundation to my becoming a lawyer. And particularly, the motivation was from Justice Liman. Dr. Hassan Liman, who is my principal, is a more gentle man. Justice Liman was, when he was a practitioner, was the radical type. So as young children, you are usually pushed by anything radicalism. So I think I picked it from him, and that was my push. And I think to also further state, even as a young person, I would boldly say I dislike seeing people being trampled upon. So it's another motivation. So that was how I became a lawyer. I got 2 admissions that time, all to read law, both in University of Jos and Mudi Dikko University. So I had the choice of taking either ABU Zaria or University of Jos. So I ended up graduating from Mudi Dikko University Zaria.
That's quite interesting, honestly. So quickly, if I may ask, do you have any special area of law you practice in?
I take criminal defense is one aspect of law that I specialize on, and then I would say constitutional law, even though in Nigerian context is usually related to election petitions. From the year 2007 up to date, most of my cases, and even cases that qualified me, 80% of cases that qualified me to become a senior advocate of Nigeria are election petition related cases. So I will say, while I take criminal defense as a specialization, I have done a lot of criminal defense of high profile criminal cases. I have also done so many election petitions, particularly for the Independent National Electoral Commission. In the history of my practice, I think just 2019, when I was privileged to prosecute election petition as a petitioner, and it's quite not easy, coming from the experience of always being a respondent who usually defends declaration by the Independent National Electoral Commission. But so far so good, and it's been well and quite interesting.
Thank you so much, Hennessy. So you said election petition has been your main profession. Do you have any, or let's say criminal defense, I would like to ask, do you have any particular case you've done, maybe a criminal case that had actually gotten you fulfilled as a legal practitioner?
Particularly one I will remember is a case that I defended, quite not a high-profile case. That's the irony of it. I think I came into court, then High Court 2, Nasarawa State. I ran into some young men, 4 of them. 5 were being prosecuted, 4 of the same parents, allegedly said to committed culpable homicide, punishable with death. That is alleged to have killed somebody. So in fact, I was in the court for a different matter, but I picked interest, and it was quite a very difficult defense. But to the glory of God, I represented all of them. In fact, children of the same parents. You could imagine how, and it's been typical of capital offense. They were under the remand in the Nigerian prison service, now the correctional service. So I came in, I applied for their bail, it wasn't granted, and the then judge, who later retired as the chief judge of Nasarawa State, granted accelerated hearing. I did the matter pro bono. That's the interesting aspect of it. And if there's any fulfillment I've gotten in the profession, was the day they were discharged and acquitted. Wow. It's one case that it used to give me fulfillment, because in fact I was financing it from my pocket, and because of the complex nature of the charges, at the end of it, to the glory of God, I had them discharged and acquitted. 4 of them, of same parents, so you can imagine.
Wow.
Yes.
That's quite impressive. That takes me to the last question. Growing up in the legal profession, I know you mentioned Dr. Lehman and a few of your uncles, but are there other particular jurists or advocates you actually admire and you look up to?
Quite a lot of them, quite a lot. But specifically, I have 2 that whenever mention of such, there is Dr. Keazu. I've worked with him. That's one person that I cherish highly. His philosophy. He's one person that is quite highly intelligent but always calm. And then another person is Chief Kano Agabi. I've worked with both Kano Agabi and Dr. Keazu. Kano Agabi happened. We've worked in the case of Gondiri in Yako. We stayed in Yola for 6 months. I learned a lot about him, and I learned a lot about life and the profession, ethics, and the rest. Then Dr. Keazu is one person that takes it, no matter the complexities of legal situation, you always see him calm, and he is always having answer to whatever issue that would crop up. So these are 2 people that, aside my direct mentors, Dr. Lehman and Justice Lehman, who partly trained me. Yes.
Thank you so much, Hennessy. So, do you have any challenge so far, or what do you think are the challenges so far as a senior advocate of Nigeria?
Well, the challenge is enormous, but specifically for me, I happen to get to the inner bar at a relatively very young age. So in fact, I don't know the meaning of the ad they say managing success is usually not easy. I got at the time I was by 2017 I was just about 37 years, and I became a senior advocate at about 38 years. So you can imagine the expectation, assuming the leadership responsibility in the legal profession, the needs that is usually surrounding the rank. But one thing that keeps me going is the fact that having known where I'm coming from, you just have to be humble. And but so far so good. Part of the challenges I can say now, and which is visible, is would I say the desperation by some of my peers, because I am also, I tag myself as a young person too. For us, we paid the dues. In fact, anybody that will follow my history will have known that I was one person that was always focused and determined in the service of the law firm I was working, and then in the service of the legal profession. When you see young men now, I have had experience, and I used to caution young men who are peers to say, look, this thing is not the way usually you assume. You have to put yourself down and learn, then the benefit will naturally come. But there are certain ethical things that you cannot cross. So if there's any challenges I'm facing or seeing, is the way I manner young men now are too in a haste to make money, and which is not good for the profession.
Thank you so much, Dennis. So as a closing remark, what would be your advice to young lawyers out there?
To young lawyers, if you graduate from law school and call to the bar, you must from day one have the focus of what you want to do. Not everybody must be a senior advocate of Nigeria. Not everybody must be a judge. In fact, from day one, you have to have this focus of what you want to be. If you want to work in the bank, start it early. If you want to go lecturing, start it early. You want to go to the corporate world, start it early. If you want to practice law, start it early. If you want to go to the bench, even at early stage, start it early. Don't be master of all. At the end of it, you will have no focus. So you must take a direction of what you want to do. That is one advice I keep giving young people that I come across.
Thank you so much, yes. It's been a fun time with you, and we are really pleased to have you on board. So dear viewers, here you have Leadership has given us, some words of advice that we should embrace moving on in the profession. Thank you for staying true.
Thank you so much. I do.